Hey everybody, hope you guys are having a good week. So today's educational video will be slightly different. I figured I'd talk about myself because who doesn't like to do that? No, I'm just teasing. But seriously, I've had a couple people ask me just kind of about like what I've been doing, that type of stuff. Essentially the same thing as most of my clients, and what I recommend is I'm essentially just counting my macros. It's pretty boring stuff. It's probably a little bit better to show you guys here. Let me go show you my tracking sheet. So essentially, I just have a daily goal, or here we'll start with photos. So yeah, this is me like 6 months ago. This is me now. Not like a lot of like crazy changes. I'm just getting a little bit leaner, building a little bit of muscle, but like just doing things nice and slowly and consistently. So I'm not like killing myself. Like I'm essentially working out 3 to 4 days a week, doing mostly weightlifting like we guys have you doing here at TrueFit. And then essentially just like tracking the macros. And my point with doing this, and like I have some of you guys doing strict meal plans, some of you guys eventually we do macros. Everything works. It's just I like having a little bit more flexibility when I go into a cut or a leading out, however you want to say it. But essentially, like for myself, like yeah, I started paying attention here in February. Before I'll go back to that. Before, like I was eating quote unquote like good during the week, but on the weekends I pretty much ate whatever I want, which is fine. But I was essentially just staying at a maintenance level of calories. So during the week I was counting my macros, paying attention. The weekends I was like, oh, it's probably fine, but it's not. And so now I do still do that to a point. I just on the weekends I do track everything, and I'm just honest, if that makes sense. I'm just honest with my tracking, honest with my workouts. So it's like, hey, I had a half a cookie, put it into your tracking app. And so same thing like having a kiddo. I'm always like doing bites, licks, and tastes of like her food and snacks, just like trying to encourage her to eat it. Or it looks like something that I want to try that I normally wouldn't have. But essentially, yeah, it's just pretty I don't say like boring eating, but it's really just getting my sleep. So I kind of have some averages here. This is more for the beginning, but average sleep, average daily steps. That's like the big thing is like, I've never had a perfect day while doing like my tracking and that type of stuff. We can look at that now. So I've never had like a perfect day on like hitting my protein and my carbs, my fats, but each week my averages are very consistent to where, yes, there's no one perfect day, but overall I've just been consistent enough to slowly see changes. And so like for myself, it's been about like 6 months. Like I didn't go into a crazy like calorie deficit. Like sometimes if you have a lot of weight to lose, we'll ramp up the deficit just so you guys can get results faster. But I wasn't in a big hurry. I wanted to try to build as much lean muscle as possible and retain muscle while doing this. So I just did a slight deficit. So like my weight loss each week was only really about a half a pound, but so it's really, if you average, it's like 2 pounds a month. So like, but in my photos here, it's really only like a 10-pound difference. I put on, like I said, couple pounds of lean muscle, and then I've just gotten leaner. And like I said, there's a fly here, but just paying attention to my eating. And so like I said, I essentially lift 4 days a week, and then I'm just really diligent about tracking my macros. Like I said, if you go out and you have a couple drinks, put it into that tracking app. And so, like I said, I'm sure we could find some days here, especially, let me find a spike here, where I went on like vacation. And that's the thing, I went on vacations, we go out to eat, all that fun stuff. I just am super accountable and put it in here. So yeah, this week here, I think I was in Florida this week. So tracking was out the window that week. And I was somewhat consistent. You can see when I came back here, I was up like 4 or 5 pounds from when I left. But getting back on track here. So it probably took me like a good week and a half to get things dialed back in again. And so I was able to do some of that stuff. Yes, like that's doing those vacations slowed my results. Like I could have gone faster had I not done that, but I didn't really care. And so that's what I tried to tell some people. It's like, who cares like how long it takes you to hit your goal as long as you hit it. So instead of doing these like huge yo-yos of like losing 20 pounds, gaining 20 back, losing, just a little bit, like 1 or 2 pounds a week over time, and then keeping off is way better than losing 40 pounds really quickly and then putting 50 back on. And so I just want to share that with you guys. It's just like I said, it's nothing exciting. It's just where we at here now. It's just being really consistent. So like I said, my averages are just like, this is a better example. So like this day I was high on my protein. This day I was low, but for that week, my average was 176. Same with like my carbs. I had a really high day here. I think we went out to dinner. Fats are elevated this day as well, but overall for the week, I was about perfect. And so don't think of like when you guys are losing weight or running into calorie deficit, like don't think of like, oh, I hit this perfect day or this perfect week. I'm going to be at my goal, or because I did perfect during the week, I can cheat a little bit on the weekends, which I do sometimes too. And so we just want to think of it as like being consistent, and just being super honest with yourself and with tracking. And so like, if you find yourself, you're like, lose a little bit of weight, gain weight, lose a little bit of weight, gain weight, and you're like, I'm tracking everything, I'm paying attention. Typically you're letting some of those like bites, licks, tastes slip through, and you're just not being honest and not being accountable. And it's totally okay. It's just, it's going to slow you from getting to your goal. And so as long as you're okay with that, no big deal. If you want to get there faster though, just be like super, like I said, being super honest, hitting your steps. Like I said, I never had a day where I did not, or a week, whatever you want to say, where I didn't hit minimum 10,000. Honestly, I was a little bit higher. I was like 13,000, 12,000, 16,000. So I'm very like consistent getting lots of steps. And so I don't even know if I had a day. I'm sure there's a day we could find one where, yeah, like this one, I didn't hit my 10,000, but overall my averages were high enough to where I kept my pace up. Same thing. No perfect day of eating, no perfect day of like, or a perfect week of workouts, but consistently doing that stuff, you can see results long term. So let me know if you have any questions on that. I just want to share that with you guys because that's what I've been working on. So, all right, have a good week. Bye.